Hey guys, this is Chad Joyce with Little Elm Real Estate and welcome to our latest edition of Foreclosure Friday. Today we are in Union Park up in Little Elm, just north of 380. We're going to be looking at 5105 Hedgerow in Little Elm, Texas. This is a Fannie Mae HomePath property that is currently listed for $595,000. Kind of want to see what they do, because Fannie Mae does do a lot of work on their properties and tries to bring them in to, above market condition. And want to see if this is a good deal for somebody, specifically an owner-occupant. This is a 4-bedroom, 3-bath home, 3,250 square feet, built in 2022. So, pretty recent construction. For those of you who are not familiar with Union Park, this is a community that has a lot of HOA amenities. There's multiple pools, there's multiple playgrounds, there's a dog park, there's lots of open green space, there's lap pools, there's community centers, hiking and biking trails. They do a really good job. And you do pay for it. The HOA dues here are $753 every 6 months. So that's something to consider. Also, additionally, you are close to middle schools and elementary school. Paloma Creek Elementary School is just right across the street. Well, a little bit down that way. And Navajo Middle School is just right down there as well. So that's pretty much about the area. Let's go on in, let's see what this house looks like and see what we see. All right, here we are, finally in. For those of you who don't know, we have a super app on our phone, and it is probably the worst app that has ever been written. It took me 42 tries to get it to just work. But now we're finally in. At least they have the air conditioning on in here. And here we go. So come on right on in. We got the office space here. Nice little light. Looks like the carpet's been replaced. Like I said, Fannie Mae does do a lot of work on their homes and updates a lot of things. So I expect this home to be pretty clean throughout. Nice 2-story entryway. Looks like we've been repainted as well. See what we got over here. Got a bedroom. No ceiling fan, just a light fixture. But you can see plenty of space in here, and there's a walk-in closet with built-in shelving. Where we got a light back on in here. Yep, we do. Yeah, so good size. I expect a lot of these things. We're talking about a $600,000 house in Union Park. We should have a lot of this stuff. Here's the bathroom here, and this is the guest suite. So basic little bathroom shower tub combo. And you can see nothing too fancy, but a little bit of storage. You got tile on in here, basic mirror, basic light fixture. Come on out, this should be a closet. Yep, little storage closet with shelving. All right, we'll go up the stairs here in a little bit, but good little area. Nice use of space, little switchback stairs. Got some storage underneath there. I guess if you want to walk all the way back there, you can hang your coats up back there. That's kind of funny. It's at the end of the hallway. So let's go walk on out. We got two ways to get here. The kitchen area and open area is right back there. So here's a hallway. That's going to go to the garage and the laundry room. We'll walk through here. And here's the main living room. 2-story ceiling fan. There is recessed lighting up there, but I pushed all the light buttons in, they haven't come on yet. So you have a gas fireplace here. I don't know if the gas is on. Let's see. Usually that switch should turn it on, but I'm not seeing anything even flicker. So that's definitely something we want to try out or test out. And I don't know why builders do this, but they should have put that tile all the way up, and they just stopped. It just looks weird. It's like they ran out of tile and decided that this house was screwed. You're not getting any more. It does have a nice open kitchen, and we do have, this is real hardwood floors. I haven't talked about that yet, but this isn't the luxury vinyl planking. This is actual wood, solid oak floors here. Got quartz countertops. You got a nice big island. That's a pretty cool backsplash. I like that. Just giving you a little view of that. The oven, microwave. We got the upgraded cabinetry, and they do have the handles on them, the door handles, which is always nice. It's amazing how much better the kitchen looks when you put the door handles on the cabinets. And I don't know why builders, again, don't do that. It's not expensive. There's our stainless steel dishwasher, big old farm sink. Really nice there. You do have a gas burner, five cooktops with a vent right there. And let's go walk on back over this way. This is your pantry. I'm not sure. This isn't really that big. I'm kind of disappointed in that. It's kind of hoping for something a little bit bigger. But you do have a lot of storage space in the kitchen itself. So here's the mudroom, laundry room. Looks like it is electric. There's your connections. And that's it. There's nothing else in here. So no other storage or cabinetry. Let's see what our garage looks like. Hopefully I don't lock myself out again. Gosh. Okay. Two car. This is a 2-car, half a tandem. You got extra storage space up there. A tandem garage is when you have the 2 cars in the front, and then you have an extra parking spot over here, but that's not a full tandem, so you can't really call it that. There's your electrical panel. There's your sprinkler system. You do have an attic drop down right there. God, no one's been in here in a while. There's cobwebs everywhere. And there's your garage door opener. So, 2+ car garage, extra storage. That's how I would advertise that. All right, we'll walk on through the kitchen here. You can see there's the living room again. That goes out to the backyard. Here's the dining area. And our primary suite is back here. God, I still got all these cobwebs on me. Here's our primary suite. I got to get rid of these. This is driving me nuts. Good size, dual level ceilings. I guess this is interesting. There's a shrine here to the bathtub, it seems like. I do like this type of tile. I don't like it in a primary bathroom. I think it's too excessive, but if you put this in like a half bath or a guest bath or something like that, it can look really well. But you've got this tile with this tile around the tub and against the wall. It doesn't really go. I mean, you do have some grays in there, but man, that's really rough. You have separate vanities, big old mirrors, which is good. You actually have the blinds in the windows here, so nobody will see you taking a bath in your shrine. There's a walk-in shower, separate bathtub, or separate toilet area. We have 2 separate closets here, which is nice. Let's see if I can get the lights on. There we go. So here's one of the closets. Kind of hard to see. It's a decent size. You're talking about maybe a 7x7, 7x8. And then here's the other one. This one's bigger. And yeah, already has the built-ins. Your tankless hot water heater controls are right here. That's what this is. If you want it over 120 degrees, you got to find someone willing to jerry-rig that for you, because that's actually the limit. So let's go on upstairs. All right, here we are. Let's see if we can get some lights on. I'm accidentally turning lights off behind me. All right, here's light to the game room. Oh, this is disappointing. See, This should have been open. That's the wall right here. It would have been a lot more spacious. Wouldn't have felt as crammed. That should have been open. The carpet here is all brand new, it looks like. Looks like we got a media room over here. And there goes the room to hallway down to the bedrooms. Let's see if I can find the light switch here for the media room. There we go. You can see there's give the camera a second here to adjust. There's our recessed lighting. And you can see there's all our connections up there. I guess if you still wanted to have a projector, you could do that. Most people nowadays just put a big old TV over here since they're not as expensive. So, same carpet in the media room as in the rest of the house. Let's see what we got down this hallway. Oh, got 2 bedrooms and a bath. Let me turn the light on here. So no ceiling fan. Basic, got the plantation shutters, which are really nice. I just stabbed my finger in there. Here's our walk-in closet. Let's see what we got up here. Okay, not bad. Get a little bit of space over there, 2 levels, and some shelving. So, you know, not too bad of a closet. And let's see, we got our bathroom, get the light switch. So, shared bathroom, shower tub combo, basic mirror, basic light fixture. So, you know, pretty standard. Now the rooms here are pretty good size. This is a good sized bedroom right here. Where's our closet? It's gonna be over this way. There it is. So, good sized rooms. This has a good sized closet. This is bigger than the other one, I believe. I don't have the measurements in front of me. I'm just guesstimating. But the closet's a little deeper and bigger, and they've got built-ins as well. So let's go ahead and walk on downstairs and let's check out the backyard. Here's the backyard. Nice extended patio. And here's the one telling feature, you know you're in Union Park. They have these, just like Providence Village and Savannah have their own unique fences. Union Park has a 6-foot tall sideways board-on-board fences that you can see around here. Now these are all wood with metal posts, so a lot easier to, you know, keep track of and to maintain than Providence Village. Unfortunately, it looks like, changing subjects, that your neighbor, that's the water heater, so I'm guessing this one's probably on the outside of the house as well, which is disappointing considering how many of these froze during the Texas freeze a couple of years ago. Wonder if it's going to be over on this side. You do have a good sized backyard. It does drop off quite a bit back there. Looks like your tree in this house, this backyard is dead. So you'd have to get one replaced. Let's see if, oh, I can't get out there. So, but anyways, you know, we wanted to look at this house to kind of see, you know, what a HomePath type property is. Cause like I said, they do a lot of work. Oh, we got a little fence damage over there. But they do a lot of work trying to make their homes well maintained and, you know, make them look good and appealing to owner occupants. That's their target audience. They don't want to sell their properties to investors or anybody like that. Ooh, I gotta watch out, I'm gonna get stung. So that's what we're kind of analyzing this property with. We'll go back to the office. We'll check and see if this is a good deal for an owner occupant and kind of analyze it with what else is available on the market in the neighborhood. All right, guys, we're back in the office here. We're gonna go over this 5105 Hedgerow. Now this isn't necessarily a property that is a rental property or anything like that. We're kind of just looking at this. It's a foreclosure property. It's a Fannie Mae HomePath property. And we're kind of seeing if what Fannie Mae is putting out there, if it's worth having a look at. If you're going to get a deal with this type of property, if this is something you want to live in. So as you can see right over here, we'll start talking about it. Sorry, you'll hear my dogs. They're all trying to crowd behind my behind my desk. But the original list price was $615 and they dropped it to $595. So there's already been a big, you know, a pretty, not really big, but there's been drops on the property. 3,250 square feet, built in 2022, 2-car garage, and I mentioned those HOA dues. There they are right there. Excuse me. They are part of Denton ISD. Paloma Creek is right down the street. Navo and Braswell are your schools. Let's see, I can show you where those are right now. All right, so we're going to go look up. There we go. So as you can see, there's our house right there. Navo is right here. There's Paloma Creek. And then if I scroll down, get rid of that. Scroll down, there's Braswell right here. So literally all your schools are right there. So that's a really nice thing about the location of that property. Yes, you're gonna have to deal with 380, but man, all you have to do is get across one street when you're going to school. Going to work, hey, that's a different story. It's gonna really depend on where you work. Now there are a lot of other interesting things here for this HOA. There's a big amenity center there. There's a big amenity center here. And also, I'm going to delete this. There's a new one, and I have to check to see. This one may just be for Del Webb, but there's a new one being built there. So there's lots of amenities nearby, parks, dog parks, swimming pools, playgrounds, green areas, outdoor basketball courts. I believe if we zoom in here, you can see they have a little splash pad. Doesn't really come up, but that's a splash pad right there. And then these are all their volleyball and basketball courts stuff there. And they have a little track you can run around right over here. So it's a neat little neat HOA. It provides you a lot. So let's go ahead and we'll check and see what we can find here in terms of value. Whether there's anything else. Here's some other interesting things. Days on market 62. Not too much else really there. So let's go ahead and go over here, pull up another screen. We're looking at homes in Little Elm. Subdivision is Union Park. You can see it right here. We're going to look at the last 3 months, 90 days, anything built after 2017, and anything that is not a builder. So we're going to check out and see what we've got. As you can see, we've got a lot of properties, 99. So we'll see how many of these actually have sold. Now just keep in mind, our house is a 3,250 square foot home. So that's kind of what we're trying to match it up with. And we'll try to find something in that phase 5A. So let's see. Active. Again, if you watch the channel, right now in DFW, most of these homes are going to be active. So here we go. 67 of the 99 properties are active. It means they're not a contract on 2/3 of those homes. There's 3 with contracts that are doing inspections. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that are pending. And we've got, looks like 22 right here that have closed in the last 3 months. So with 7 pending, you're averaging about 7 a month. That's pretty much right in line. So monthly inventories, 67 divided by 7, you're looking at almost a 10-month inventory in this community. So let's see what we got for 3,250 square feet. And we've got right here 3,291 sold for 585. Let's see, we did have it was a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, right? Let's check to make sure. Yeah, 4-bedroom, 3-bath. So let's go back over here. That's what this is. So that's really our best comp. It sold at 585. Let's see if we got some seller concessions. And right here you can see there's no seller concessions. And this closed April 23rd, 2025. So this closed about 2 months ago. Unfortunately for these guys, the value's probably gone down already. Having this one listed at $595 tells you that they're already overpriced. And let's go look at the active properties and kind of see what we can compare it to, because that'll give you a good indication of where, where current market is. And I'm going to narrow this down. It's just too many homes to look at. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in the square footage, 3,050 to 3,450 square feet. And that's going to drop our 99, drops our 99 down to 13. So that helps us out a lot. Let's go look at these. Only 2 closings. And, here's kind of what you're looking at. You've got another home right here. Here's a 4-bed, 3-bath, 3,000 square feet for $520. So let's go look at that one real quick. While I really like the condition of the Hedgerow property, that's an interesting, lots of stonework there. There's the HOA. Smaller kitchen and living areas. You got the luxury vinyl planking through there, a little bit different than our house. But it's in good shape. It's not really that bad. It's there. Pull it back up. Not bad. I don't know. I would say that the upgrades in the Hedgerow property are a little bit nicer than that one. But again, that's really giving you an idea of where the market's going. If you were going to put an offer in on this Hedgerow property, I would be $520 to $530, and ask them to pay your closing costs. The worst they're going to do is say no, and you're not going to really insult anyone. It's Fannie Mae, so it's a big corporate entity, and they may not be willing to take that right now. But the market, as you can see, out of the 13 homes, 9 are active, 2 are pending, and 2 have closed in the last 3 months. The market is showing you right now that it is a buyer's market. If you are a buyer, this is the time to buy, and this is the time that you can set your terms. Don't overpay. Be willing to walk away. That's where your leverage is. There's other homes that you can look at. You got a 3,284 square foot home right here for $580. But you can get your terms, and you can find the house that you want. You can find a seller who's working with you, and that's what I would that's what I would look at. Now, real quick before I let you go, if you go to this website, it's HomePath right up here. Let's see if I can draw a circle around it. No, it won't let me. HomePath.fanniemae.com. If you want to find out more information about the HomePath program, you can come over here and you can look at it, where you can look at all the Fannie Mae HomePath programs. You can search homes right here. There's information for home buyers, which that information has stuff like how much can I afford, how much can I borrow, find your home, making an offer, the closing process, etc. So it kind of goes over what Fannie Mae does. Might be worth having a look at if this is a type of property that you want to go check out and go see. So again, there's plenty of opportunity for people, and I would encourage you to make the offers, be brave, make the offer that you think the house is worth, and see what the seller says. So hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned a little bit, about Union Park, what Fannie Mae has to offer with their HomePath programs, and seeing what's out here. I do think this is an interesting neighborhood and definitely something to consider moving forward. There's a lot of opportunity up here, and there's a lot of growth, and there's a lot of development in this part of town. Not only with just Union Park and Little Elm, but you got Providence Village, you got Savannah, you've got Paloma Creek, you've got Windsong Ranch. You've got a lot of communities that are really growing and growing quickly out here. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to give me a call. My contact information is below. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. We don't want you guys to miss any potential videos. We do Foreclosure Friday every Friday, at least as often as we can. I'm getting kind of busy here in the summer, and trying to get these out as every week. May miss a week here or two, but do the best we can to get one out and show you what's available. Again, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have a good rest of your week. We'll see you next time.